Hi, Grandpa.
Hello, youngster. Where's your siblings?
Um,
Well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, do you want to hear a story about the Balloon Spies of the Civil War?
no.
Okay, then. Well, it all started with this guy called Thaddeus Sovietsky, Constance Lowe.
Oh, no.
Now, Lowe was a famous aeronaut, even before the war. He was always interested in science. Do you want to know what his first experiment was?
Yes, I love to know.
It was an experiment with a cat in a cage, tied to a huge kite. And you know who that cat was? Me! I proudly volunteered myself.
I bet that when it was over, you ran away terrified.
Whoa, what? Of course not. Anyways, Lowe had huge plans to fly across the Atlantic, but first he needed to test his overland. So he voyaged from Cincinnati, Ohio to South Carolina in 9 hours. And since South Carolina was part of the wait, I feel like I'm forgetting about something. Did I mention Lowe's wife?
No.
Oh, well, his wife's name was Eoline Augustine Gashon Lowe. She was interested in balloon science, too, which makes sense, since she was French.
What's being French to do with anything?
Well, youngster, the French were first to fly by balloon.
Okay.
Anyways, continuing from where I left off. Since South Carolina was part of the Confederacy at the time, they thought he was a Union spy and threw him into jail. He then became one of the first prisoners of the Civil War. Thankfully, he was famous and got out of prison. This event inspired him to contribute to the Union Army, using his fame to his advantage. He had a meeting with President Abraham Lincoln and convinced him to form the Balloon Corps and place him as commander.
How did the balloons work? When did you get here?
Well, the balloon was filled with hydrogen, which, by the way, is very flammable.
If it's flammable, then why use it? Because it's lighter than air, dummy.
There's a hatch at the top of the balloon that when you open it, lets out the hydrogen, and the balloon sinks. And to raise it, they release bags of sand to lighten the load. So what the balloon corps do is try to find stuff about how many troops the opposing side had while in the air. They do this by counting how many tents or campfires they have. They've also discovered some signs, like on how fast-moving clouds mean the cavalry, and slow ones mean the infantry. They have to find out all this before they have to go back down to the ground, so they won't get shot.
How did they get down?
They had ropes tied to the ground, which they used to pull their balloon down. Now, on the opposing side, the South had less supplies, so they had to make do with what they had. They used cotton for the envelope, or balloon as you would call it, and they covered it in tar for extra protection. This made the balloon heavy and slow, so for the first Confederate who went up nearly died. Then in 1863, the Balloon Corps were disbanded.
Aw, so I can't join?
There you two are.
Hey, Mom.
I have been looking for you two all over. It is dinner time. Come along and stop bothering your grandfather.
But he was bothering us.
What about me?
Jerk, you don't get dinner.